Welcome back to the final promotion tournament of the NALCS. We're coming to you live from our studios here in Los Angeles, California. Teams are already in position for our match in the battle arena. Earlier, though, we caught Lion prepping with the rest of Goldcorn United. He was a large part as to why they took Phoenix1 to 5 games. Today, they'll be hoping to keep their tournament dreams alive versus E United and GBM, who's catching up with his old friend Piglet. Spent a little bit of time on opposite sides over in the LCK. A little bit of laughs there, a little giggle, staying loose before they go ahead and try to figure out who's going to make it through the promotion tournament. Hi, everyone. I'm Daniel Digon Gonzalez, and we had to make space for his big brain. It's Isaac Azale Cummings-Bentley. How's it going?
I mean, it's very impressive.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is very impressive. You know what? It's not. People say it's not just the size, but you know what? I think that they're kind of, it's both. We'll go ahead and say it's both. Too. As we go ahead and get into the games, let's take a look at how the bracket is filled out. NALCS 1 hosts Team Liquid, who dominated in their match yesterday. They'll be facing Phoenix1, who narrowly prevented a reverse sweep. Over on NALCS 2, we have a rematch of the Challenger Finals, Goldcorn United versus E United. Last night, though, it was a tale of 2 series. In one, Team Liquid looked unstoppable, and then in the other, it could have gone either way to Phoenix1 or Goldcorn United.
I mean, TL looked extremely good yesterday. It really did look like an LCS team playing against a challenger team. This team came together for the promotion tournament, bringing in Mickey, bringing back Dardoch, and they are really looking on point. Their carries in particular, Piglet and Mickey, were incredible, and this was not a close series whatsoever.
Definitely not, and GBM and Definitely were highly touted coming into the tournament. E United was the first place in the regular season, did fall in the promotion tournament finals. However, they were able to go ahead and make a name for themselves, and comparing that to the series on the other side of the bracket, where Goldcorn United fought tooth and nail to even out the series, we expect a little more out of the carries in that game.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, GCU had some really good games, but they take too long to ramp up oftentimes, and they're kind of reliant on their opponent's mistakes. They're not the most proactive team. They kind of sit back, they try to scale up, and they sometimes are caught waiting around too long. P1 on the other side of things, although they did actually win the series, it was a 3-2, much closer than when you are looking over at TL, and they weren't very happy about this result. You could tell the players were still frustrated even in a win. And they seemed really reliant on Ryu's Corki, which could be problematic when you're going up against a team who can target you in the draft.
Right, definitely. And even in the interview with Avali afterwards, Zig kind of quivered a little bit while he was talking about the team's win, but they did get it and they were able to take it home. But that's enough from us. Let's go ahead and send it over to the casters to get us into the games.
Thank you very much, Digon, and I brought myself a bigger brain. My name is David Petrilli here with Sam, Kobe, Hartman, Kensler. Smarter than Azale? I'm going to say you are. It's a word of fact. Doesn't matter. The shop is restocked, and our teams are ready to go for our first series of the day. It's Liquid taking on Phoenix1, first and only, of course, of this stage. We're going to kick things off by jumping into the starting lineups. On the blue side here for Game 1 is going to be Team Liquid. Lourlo in the top lane, Dardoch starting in the jungle, Mickey in mid, Piglet and Matt in the bot lane alongside Coach Kane.
And on the red side, it is Phoenix1. Up top is Zig. In the jungle, MikeYeung. Mid, Ryu. Bottom arrow, support Xpecial, and Coach Fly with a big brain of his own on stage.
Absolutely big brain. We'll see who ends up being the smarter one here in this draft phase, who wins the best of 5. But for Dardoch, everything went according to plan despite community expectations yesterday.
It was just overall pretty weird that people didn't have faith in us, like when we were coming into the promotion tournament, but it's like very blatant that we're just like levels ahead of these challenger teams. So, I mean, I don't think it's very likely that we'll see a new face in an LCS, but if we do see a new face, it'll be because P1 lost, not us.
And that honestly went to exactly how the game yesterday went.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have results as strong as the talk that you have going into it. And their results were incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
It was like 25-minute wins or even under for all of the games almost.
Absolutely agree. Today, Team Liquid are looking to show and prove that they are the best team in the promotion tournament. As you mentioned, yesterday was a smash.
Yeah, yesterday, they actually looked like the best team undeniably in the entire tournament yesterday with the quickness of their wins. And a big part of that was Mickey and Piglet. These carries You know, they brought Mickey in very recently, him in combination with Dardoch. People had a lot of questions. You know, Mickey, he's talked about wanting to go for the super aggressive playstyle, and it was punished a little bit in the LCS, but here in the promotion tournament and with some more time, they absolutely crushed those games. Piglet as well from the bottom lane seems to be, you know, feeling a bit more free and playing extremely aggressive himself.
Yeah, and I think Matt has been getting a lot better as well in more recent days, so it seems like that duo is looking well. Now, of course, you could expect a lot from more NALCS teams, though. Phoenix1 did have a tougher time when they played GCU.
Yeah, they had a rough time preventing that reverse sweep, and they looked tired afterwards. We'll see if they have been able to recoup here and refocus, because Team Liquid, you know, whoever wins this series actually won't have to worry anymore. So Phoenix1 would like to get it over with, as they said, you know, in the interview afterwards. Zig was like, yeah, it was 2-2, and we can't just go home after that. We have to play another one. If he wants to go home, they have to win again, another series.
That's true, and they're up against maybe tougher opponents here in this one. We'll see who can take it in. And Liquid looks like they learned the lessons from yesterday's match. They banned Corki away from Ryu. Apparently, Kane, big brain, knows how to ban the best performing player's best champion.
Doesn't even take that big of a brain to recognize that Ryu has played twice the games on Corki this split that he has on any other champion, and he has done well. There's a reason why he's played that many games on Corki. You know, huge difference in play. Let's see what he goes with. Backup, though. They still have another ban. I'd probably guess, you know, maybe LeBlanc or something. Not going to be the case, though. They're going to actually leave that one up, opting for the support, and taking some of the playmaking away from Xpecial, who has been great on that champion.
Yeah, absolutely agree on this one. It's interesting to see that even though Thresh did get some bug fixes / nerfs in 7.15, Bro is still going for the champion quite a bit. I want to again point out that we are on 7.15. The live patch is 7.16. That will be for the playoffs, but these teams, the Challenger squad's coming up and the LCS team's coming down, staying on 7.15 as they were just a week before. So none of the big changes here, none of the big mid lane shuffles. But the Tristana first pick comes through for Piglet. He's going to like that quite a lot.
All right, and they go for the Varus instead of the Sivir, which I do tend to like in that matchup. Varus has quite a strong early lane phase, and it scales very nicely at all stages of the game, really. Plus, he's bringing crowd control, so he, to me, always feels like that safe, kind of all-arounder AD carry pick. Whereas Sivir, you know, you do get the extra move speed and everything, but it looks like Phoenix1 not going to go for that just yet into the Tristana matchup. And the Rek'Sai priority over the Gragas here with Jarvan banned is actually a little bit surprising to me. You know, for MikeYeung, yeah, he hasn't like put a ton of games in on Gragas or anything, but it just seems like most junglers have put enough time in on Gragas, and he's in such a good state right now as far as being all-arounders as well. It's an interesting diversion here over to the Rek'Sai.
Yeah, as you saw, of course, Dardoch happy to play the champion here, and just going to be the case for this squad. Mickey going to get himself Syndra, which is his second most played so far since coming over to North America. One final pick for Phoenix1. We'll see if they want to match mid laners, and you were right, it's LeBlanc coming through for Ryu, and he was the big carry against GCU. We'll see if he can do it again with the 1v1 assassin here.
Yeah, that's one of the other champions he has had some very nice success on. Building that Hextech Gunblade, and maybe you'll see some deviations in the build this time around for Syndra. Some people will go a little bit more defensive. Some people even get some early magic resist, but yet to remain. If you have the Rek'Sai plus the LeBlanc, that can be a very potent combo. And Syndra, once you get her summoners down especially, that matchup can definitely turn in the LeBlanc's favor. So maybe this is a region for the Rek'Sai pickup.
Yeah. If they saw it coming, they wanted a very reliable crowd control jungler. They've got that here, so we'll see if MikeYeung and Ryu can split the game open, because certainly Liquid looked better yesterday. It's all about keeping that LCS sort of incumbency spot. We'll see if that's going to happen here. Blitzcrank, Gnar so far off the table. Liquid need themselves a top and support, and Phoenix1 exactly in the same boat. And you're seeing Phoenix1 banning top laners. They might first pick one for themselves. Yeah, as Liquid banning supports is...
More respect to the hookers of Xpecial. Yeah. Going to get the Blitz out as well as the Thresh. Definitely has been one that is accurate with his skill shots, and the bottom lane doesn't want to give any over those extra kills. Maybe that means Matt is going to go for an Ardent Sensor support here. It seems like kind of going that way, because if you're playing one of those supports, the only thing you're really worried about is those all-ins and getting kills early. Those bans might signify that's the way that Team Liquid are leaning.
Yeah, and I think it honestly makes a bit of sense. I think it's a very good style, especially when you got yourself a Tristana in a solid matchup. You're not really worried about the Trist being assassinated right now, and you get to wait to see. I'm actually assuming Zig is going to blind pick his top. based on the top lane bans, yeah, he's going to take Maokai here in this one. He tried to pitch down the roll, so now you know what the threats are. The only thing left is a support on the opposing team, and honestly, it shouldn't be hard for Matt to take a, Nami, Janna, Sona, something like this and keep him alive.
And the other option, of course, if you didn't want to go to Ardent Sensor, would be Braum. He'll huge kill pressure there. Trist Braum is kind of a classic for playing aggressive, getting early kills. And that is what Piglet and Matt have done so far in this tournament. So
yeah, true.
It could go that way as well. Nautilus locked in, probably a Lourlo champion there. He has a history with the Nautilus.
Sure,
a very long history actually.
Lourlo's actually one of the most varied top laners. So you're looking at stats. He's got the most unique champions of anyone on TL, and in fact, anyone on in this match entirely. His most played only has 7 picks on it. When you contrast Zig's most played is 17. Lourlo clearly much more willing to split things up, and Lulu going to be the grab here for Matt. This is the one I failed to mention, but yes, it's going to be a defensive Enchantress support to buff up Piglet in that bot lane and have him carry through the tanks.
Yeah, I don't think Piglet's the type of guy to, go like we saw in the LCK and build the Targon.
The Relic Shield start?
On his AD carry to further fund the Ardent Sensor.
So I have a theory on Relic Shield start. So you write it up, absolutely gives gold to your support, and you can fund the site sort of the Ardent Sensor sooner. Yeah. But actually look at the numbers. I'm reasonably confident that Relic Shield might just be a better start than Dorn Shield in a duo lane. You get 3 potions, you get similar health, you get similar regen, you get regen to your teammate, and again, 2 more potions. So I feel like it's actually just the better start than Dorn Shield. I'll go back and do math after this series.
Yeah, so if you're not going the Blade,
yeah, if you're in a difficult lane, like if you're Twitch versus Varus, you're not going to win the lane. Yeah. You go Relic Shield over Dorn Shield, you get passive GP10, everything else. Anyway, it's not the point here in this one. I expect to be a more aggressive start for Piglet. He's got the winning lane matchup, and as Braum does come through for Xpecial, maybe he can hold up the front line as well. Draft is done, the picks are locked in, and we're going to talk about who can win this best of 5 here as game 1 is about to start. Liquid hoping that Mickey and Piglet can keep carrying like they were yesterday. Phoenix1 hoping to play a little bit better than last time.
Yeah, because the carries are going to be incredibly important in this matchup. We have, 2 tank front lines here, 5-on-5 compositions for both. A little bit of a wrinkle here is that Phoenix1 have more snowball potential. They've got a LeBlanc who can set up ganks, so I think if MikeYeung does get off more ganks early on, it would be beneficial. Syndra, once she gets to level 6, then it really becomes dangerous, because even if you go for that, oftentimes she'll get a return kill even just getting off her ultimate.
Yeah.
So have to be a bit more careful later, and kind of want to get started on that early. We've seen Cloud9 do it a bunch. Snowballing around Jensen with the LeBlanc and kind of get snowballing out of control.
Absolutely the case. The nice thing for Phoenix1 is pretty much everyone can roam over to help. A Braum, a Maokai, and a Rek'Sai all great at setting up for mid lane ganks, and Mickey's cleanse might not be enough to keep him safe. We are here for game 1. The base gates have dropped, and it is time for both these squads to get back out onto the map to see who will be the first team to pass unscathed through the North American LCS Spring 2018 promotion tournament. Will it be Liquid? Will it be Phoenix1? Either way, one LCS team gonna coast their way through in back-to-back best of 5s.
Coast their way through. Was that intentional?
It was not, but I'm glad that you brought that one up.
A little throwback here. The classic promotion tournament. Dardoch actually goes very deep into enemy territory. Now, you say it's cute when it happens like this and he's not seen, but I've seen so many times, people even using flashes or like people going crazy level 1s, and it gets punished. This one, though, he's going to get behind MikeYeung.
Oh, he's going to get stunned.
This might be enough.
Body slams there. Easy glitter lance if you want the slow. All right, he earned a little bit of money for this one. MikeYeung, explosive charge on. He's going to flash. He actually's going to die. Whoa! He's going to die, but Piglet, will he get away with it? No, he won't, but that's when you say worth in all chat every single time.
Hit the Q.
Ooh, Zig's in there. He lands a slow on Mickey. Mickey's going to flash away, but now Matt's in a dangerous spot. Flashes. He's going to land on a Mickey. He cleanses the slow away. And that way he won't get stunned anyway. Right choice there. He gets out.
I was wondering why he went for Mickey instead of Matt there.
Yeah, Matt's probably a better target.
Yeah, because Matt, they probably could have closed the gap with the slow. Regardless, Dardoch's rewarded, for going over the wall here. They get MikeYeung extremely low. And then Piglet, he's got his eyes on the prize. First blood, I want that extra cash. I don't care if I die for it. And he uses both summoners while dying for it. I think that... wait, did he cleanse off the exhaust to make sure that his explosive charge would do full damage?
I think he was dead regardless, but yes, he did.
Yeah, I think he just did it for the damage instead of trying to get out, because he knew he was dead, but he wanted to make sure he got that first blood gold. He did get it at the cost of all mobility summoners for the bottom lane.
Yeah.
Matt does have the heal since Piglet took cleanse, so they still have the heal But bottom lane could definitely be a target for MikeYeung if he doesn't want to go for that LeBlanc lane that we talked about.
Yeah, I mean, that 100 gold first blood cost them 2 extra summoners, trade going off on the top side of this lane as well as Piglet level 2 first. Off the bonus XP, getting some damage in the arrow.
Yeah, he's playing super aggressive right now because they know MikeYeung started on the top side. Even though he doesn't have his double summoners, he knows he's got about 30 seconds before they actually have to start respecting the Rek'Sai.
They won't have to just yet. We'll see what happens here. And again, no flash makes it easier to deal with. So
plus he's Tristana, you got that built-in rocket jump, always makes it a little bit more secure, considering Xpecial, the Braum would be the one that would be flashing on you as well, and he already used his flash in the level 1.
Definitely makes it easier. MikeYeung should not have been seen as he makes his way down to the bot side. He's pinging out the fact that he sees Dardoch.
Yeah, smart by Dardoch though. He wants to protect Piglet's summonerless Tristana down there. So he goes immediately after the level 3 over to grab a Scuttle Crab and kind of protect that bottom lane, allow them to keep pushing. This is good coordination between a lane that got early first blood and actually got to use that first blood money.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes, we'll see level 1 first bloods and they don't even have time to back, but Piglet is sitting on the extra longsword.
He is, and that definitely helped him with some last hitting and shoving the wave in. So a small CS lead for Piglet. I don't think we called it out explicitly, but it is a cleanse plus heal lane to the bot lane, so Matt going to be supporting him and everything else. Should be good for this. And now the chase up at the top side is going to land the chain. Lourlo's got no way out. And Ryu making the roam top side. He'll bring the kills to himself. And now the rock jump to chase in. He's got the damage. The longsword paying off. Xpecial won't yet get the trade kill, but here comes MikeYeung. Okay, 1 kill in, and now Matt is summonerless. Knockup is there. Red buff also, and there is no way out for the Lulu. TP in for Ryu. He wants the gold. They're going to give it to him. And Ryu TP's in to take away the kill. 300 more gold to the mid laner.
Yeah, he TP'd kind of early when they were a little bit undecided whether they were getting the kill. I think they could have made the call that, hey, we have this, and you don't have to use your teleport. So he could have used that for more lane power. But regardless, it's very nice for the LeBlanc to have 3-0 start here. And he is going for the Gunblade build that we talked about. Plus, you can afford magic resist. So the kind of decision we were talking about at Chip Select where, maybe he's going to have to choose between rushing. Nope, he's got 3 kills. He gets to buy whatever he wants. He's going to have the extra magic resist to defend against Syndra. Plus, very, very offensive here. So mid lane, all of a sudden becomes very scary for Mickey, who on Syndra still doesn't have timer on his flash. Let's take a look at the top side though. What went on there? Ryu went up there, flashed on Lourlo. This was the previous kill before he went down to the bottom side with teleport.
Nice shield by Xpecial, but then Piglet goes in only after the shield drops, so he can land the damage on arrow.
Lands his rocket jump on top of the arrow to get the extra damage.
Yep.
And again, Piglet, it's very clear what his mission is. He's all about kills, doesn't care about going down in exchange for them. They did draw jungler pressure and teleport in answer, so not like it's a straight up 1-for-1 trade. It's a 1-for-1 trade plus the extra resources, and then technically Matt went down too, so it's 1-for-2. But
whatever.
He was already dead at that point.
So. Whatever. Who even cares in this one? So we've got a situation of 11 minion lead for Piglet here in the bot lane. You can see, honestly, TL has done very well against Phoenix1 so far this year. He's actually smashed the laning phase specifically as Piglet, but the team has also won games 4-1 so far.
Yeah.
500 gold lead for Phoenix1 though, and it feels like it's going to be a tale of 2 carries with the ahead Tristana versus the very ahead LeBlanc.
Yeah, let's see what Ryu can do in this game, because we're talking about the snowballing. Mickey does give a decent amount of damage back in that trade.
Wow, he was a quarter second away from realizing he was level 6. He almost got to ult there.
I think that he had an opportunity to waste less movement there if he was counting his experience bar and moved up. There was an extra sphere on the ground, so it's debatable with the Null Magic Mantle whether he would have been able to get it, because you don't usually have a Null Magic Mantle that early on.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, unsure whether more aggression would have been necessary, but he does get a good trade-off. Bottom lane, though, they're not shying away from the trades either.
Of course not. And Piglet definitely wants it, and Matt can keep buffing him up, especially doing the best he can to play around that. Zig gonna go for the sapling. Boop. Bitter damage on Lourlo. Doesn't bother shielding it, though. He's fine. Looks like Zig did get a better recall, though. He's got more items by the advantage of a Dark Seal. Doesn't mean a ton, but it is Zig slightly winning the laning phase.
Yeah, Maokai just loving to load up those brush with the sapling. Dardoch is able to dodge out the chain, so avoids a large amount of the damage, which It's dangerous. When you go to the mid lane as a jungler, right when the mid laners are level 6, you're under-leveled. You know, this is a fed LeBlanc who's got 3 kills already, so there's a lot of power. Rek'Sai's actually going to get a gank himself.
The play, can they get on? He's going to flash, still going to land the chain, but no fall is going to be had, and actually not a lot of damage into Mickey just yet.
Yeah, huge value out of that gank, though. Didn't have to spend anything, gets the flash out of the Syndra. And as we said, Syndra with no summoner spells versus LeBlanc, you know, becomes very dangerous territory. Even under your turret, you still have to worry a bit. Thankfully for Mickey, he has cleanse. So if they do turret dive him, he could probably get one of those return kills we talked about by cleansing out and at least getting off his ultimate. But it is extremely scary, you know, to play the Syndra, even with this big CS lead that he has. The extra kills that Ryu has definitely are going to make him a little bit more cautious. And he's getting early Merc treads just because of that.
Yeah. Right now, the gold difference is 600 between the mid laners, so the extra farm is making up for one of those 3 kills that that Ryu has right now. As you mentioned, the Merc Treads, I think, a very smart choice, and we'll see if he can survive this all. MikeYeung and Dardoch both now level 6, so ultimates available on the junglers means more playmaking. MikeYeung can reset aggro, and look at this, walking bot lane right away, knows they have the threat. Arrow's got the ulti as well, and Piglet a little hesitant here. He knows there's threat onto him. He knows the chain CC can eventually break through his rocket jump, so yeah, plays it back, gets a few attacks in, and decides to get a couple hundred damage on Arrow as opposed to getting that CS. Hoping to push him out of lane.
Yeah, no surprise to me there. That's Piglet's had his eyes on the kills for the entire game, looking for damage rather than CS first. Plus, the theory a lot of people have, or the general, you know, just kind of TLDR for that one is when you can bully them out of lane, you can CS later when they're gone.
Sometimes it pays off. Foreman looks for the trade again on Arrow. Not going to land that, especially expected the juke back, and Arrow going to lose a lot of health. I think Piglet maybe could have gone for more with the ulti, but didn't do it.
He definitely thought that Rek'Sai was there.
Yeah.
He was like, why are they playing so aggressive? And that's interesting to see him kind of temper his aggression after he's been all out basically this whole game. But he shows a little bit of caution there because if you look at the map, all the warding on the bottom side, you know, at least all the offensive warding has been completely Phoenix1. So he didn't have any deep vision, didn't quite know where any of the Phoenix1 members were. Plus, there are both teleports available for Phoenix1.
Yep. And at the end of the day, like even though, he maybe could have gotten a kill, Piglet still denies an entire minion wave to the turret. Arrow had to recall, as you said before, the theory is you push him out of lane, that's 6 minutes worth of gold and XP. Arrow completely misses because Arrow sacked 1 caster minion and went for a good trade safely.
People can change, Freak. You know, early on he was like, I don't care if I die
to the turret
for every kill. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with that. I don't need to give any more kills over. I'll get mine anyway.
Yeah, did well enough for him. You can see Mickey now taking some bad chunks and just feels terrible having Merc Treads against, you know, more items coming in for Ryu. He's got a long sword here as well. Even Ryu going Merc Treads wants to survive the matchup and not to get chain stunned either.
Yeah. Interesting positioning here too. It's always fun to watch the Syndra versus LeBlanc trying to place the orbs, play your little ring around the rosy there with the orb to make sure you could, you know, land your stun or knockback there on the distortion. As long as you can get even the knockback though, you can deny that from the LeBlanc. And the setup for the ganks as well with the chain, as you said with the Merc Treads, makes it a bit easier to get out, but Rek'Sai has got flash, as does LeBlanc. So even with Merc Treads, you do not want to give them any sort of opening.
No, double ulti is probably going to kill you, so you got to be real careful here. Mickey going to keep playing defensively, but has that 12-13 minion lead, so honestly doing pretty nicely for how bad this should have been for him. He's completely survived a 3-0 LeBlanc in lane, and that deserves props in and of itself. We'll see if Ryu can affect the rest of the map anytime soon. The game's still sitting at the 600 gold difference, so nothing broken open just yet. Piglet not far from his static shift. That'll be a nice first power spike as Arrow's doing upgraded boots into a Ruin King.
Again, just tremendous wards from Phoenix1 all over this bottom side, and they're going to take advantage of mid.
First stun gets missed, and the chain's going to come back through, and Dardoch has no way to live. He will die to the ulti, and he's going to even immune the shot, and he's going to get the kill picked up. Well played by MikeYeung. Mickey maybe shouldn't have aimed at him right then, but the way it comes out, a kill comes through for no casualties.
Yeah, that is definitely one of those moments where Mickey's like, oh, I forgot.
He becomes untargetable.
Go untargetable. Really intelligent there by MikeYeung. You can tell he was planning to save his ultimate for that the entire time, though. As soon as the animation for the first sphere starts to move from Syndra, he immediately goes Rek'Sai ultimate. Really nice play there by Mike to survive, deny the counter kill from Team Liquid, and, you know, continue to snowball that mid lane. This is 4 for Ryu.
They're going to try to keep pushing this bot lane down, even though Piglet in that lane so well. Yes, his minions will die. This turret getting lower and lower on health, and MikeYeung, I think he's out jungling Dardoch. Now the pressure's going to come in as well. They want this with Ryu coming around.
Ooh, Xpecial flashes forward because they think that Ryu's committing, but Ryu snaps back to the distortion, and now Dardoch wants to chase him off there.
Yeah, not going to have it, though. The ulti was available for the Braum, so no chase to be had. Piglet down his cleanse, but first turret falls in the bot lane, and Phoenix1 up almost 2,000 now. Mickey gets away from the chain. Nicely done, knocking back Ryu.
Yeah, you know, a little bit of miscoordination there, but it's just a flash on the Braum, so it's not a huge deal. Anyways, let's take another look at it, because this is one of the reasons why the high ELO and the people with a lot of time on Rek'Sai have such higher win rates on the champion than the average player does. Using the defensive properties of the ultimate, you know, going underground, using untargetable to dodge big abilities, is a really big part of the survivability of Rek'Sai now.
Yeah.
You know, as far as her team fighting phase goes, you know, even beyond just the skirmishes.
Absolutely. And I'm sure there's going to be comments out there like, oh, yeah, he pressed R in a team fight. Wow, big deal. But as you mentioned, it was the fact that MikeYeung waited for the ulti to start to make sure that he's going to immune the damage. As opposed to casting it early, Mickey waits for him, ults after, gets the free kill. The timing actually super relevant there. And now you can see the top lane fight, which means nothing.
Tanks. Let's take another look. Deep dive into the past of Lourlo playing the Nautilus. Yes, decently though.
Yeah. One thing I do find interesting is they are going for different builds. They're different champions. Certainly Zig's going for what I assume to be a Spirit Visage as a self-healer. And Lulu's doing actually the Abyssal Mask to up his damage as well to help Mickey in a team fight. So different looks for both these players. It's good to see a bit more differentiation and choice available in Magic's itemization.
Yeah, and I actually do think the Abyssal Mask is an incredibly good item. It's definitely very efficient. Even if you take out the mana and you're not even a mana user, I still think it's a decent item.
Yeah.
But Nautilus, since some of the nerfs did target the mana, it's a great all-around item for him. I think it really does shore up a lot of the weaknesses, and as you said, he doesn't have the crazy self-healing like Maokai does, so it isn't a no-brainer to go for a Spirit Visage like it is for some of those healing champions. Do like that. They're also kind of sending 4 people up there around Lourlo, so maybe even Zig has to worry about getting himself out, because Piglet is making his way up, and he does.
All right, the hook's going to come in, body slam as well. The Naka going to keep chanting in, and Dardoch's going to ulti and miss it! He missed a stationary target with explosive cast!
It was a good twisted advance there.
Oh, okay.
But you could throw it a little bit earlier during the CC that Lourlo had. He wanted to do it during
the knockup, the Nautilus ulti, right?
Yeah, but twisted advance. Zig was just spamming that. So as soon as Zig got out of CC, he was spamming twisted advance, did dodge it. Mickey!
Ooh, what a flash though! Gets away from MikeYeung. That was actually crucial. Bot lane tier 2, of course, did fall from the push duo of Arrow and Xpecial. Top lane going to fall soon enough as well. Yes, it'll be at least a trade, but a lot of inroads made in that bot lane.
All right, they do end up getting that turret on the top side for Team Liquid, but Phoenix1 complete control around mid lane. This LeBlanc is incredibly dangerous.
Yes, he is. Half the health off of Dardoch right there. Hasn't gotten the time to build MR yet. Doesn't have a lot of gold. Wave clear going to keep mid lane alive, but it's down below half. 2,000 gold remains for P1.
Yeah, Phoenix1 should continue to try and play around Ryu. You know, his teleport is not up, so it's best to go make plays around his lane. They're trying to take down this mid turret, whittle it down. It is fairly low now, and once you break that down, they have already had a tremendous warding advantage. Their vision advantage has been basically the last 10 minutes. They've had control of the bottom side, so once that mid turret falls, it's going to be very easy for them to kind of continue those baits around the dragon, take the dragon, start to get those neutral objectives flowing.
They can find more of them as they're going to keep looking for ways to kill their opponents off, get rid of the control wards. TL playing with defensive control wards, and honestly, this game is going against expectation. When TL smashed their first round in P1, barely squeaked by, you thought it was going to be an easy road for the blue team, but P1 actually shaping up quite a lot better. Again, it's been great stuff out of Ryu specifically, 4-0, got the roams to happen, and MikeYeung as well, kind of stepping back up and making sure that the bot lane that was in the 2-on-2 Piglet and Matt were winning. Yeah. The fact that MikeYeung was showing up, they got first turret anyway, despite the CS deficit, so honestly, well played on a lot of fronts.
Yeah, definitely a lot of factors that go into it, and you can't talk about only champions, but I think champions is one part, because it did in Champ Select feel, when we were talking about, oh yeah, probably going to be the next LeBlanc ban for that one. It feels like they no respect here for Ryu, and they've kind of forgot about the success that he has had previously on LeBlanc. she's not going to snowball like that every single game, and he did do a good job of roaming to both side lanes to get early kills, but now we have Xpecial under fire a bit.
And they're going to land the root. Maokai's coming as well to Zig pop the ult for himself. He's going to follow in with the Nyan Cat charge. And they're going to find a little bit of this with a couple of roots coming through as well. And knock back into MikeYeung. Rocket Jump chase forward. He wants Ryu. Flash. Ooh. He's going to flash and get away. So no kills on that side, Markman versus Mage. But Mickey now in the middle of the enemy team. Going to get the kill into Xpecial. Now has to kite away from MikeYeung, who's already popped the ult, being not gotten the damage. And now the re-engage coming in. Is there a way out for the Rek'Sai? Zig hoping to hold the front line as well. Dardoch body slam gets on a 2 with the flash. Knocks back by Zig. A smite to get a little bit of heal. Now Ryu wants in. Gonna get away from the shots as well and buy a little bit more time. Still is the 1 for 0, especially only dead. Double body slam gonna land once more for Dardoch. Not gonna find that next kill just yet. Now Piglet on the chase for MikeYeung. He got the speed. Does he have the tunnel soon? Couple more autos. One more should do it if he crits. And a slow zone comes out, means there's no way in for Piglet. Arrow getting just a little bit of time there. And Mike will get out.
Ooh, just barely though. What a...
Oh no! Oh, Ryu was caught on the wrong side of the fight. He tried to fight against Mickey. Took the turret shot, down he goes.
Well, Ryu did not find his way out there. They were playing a risky game. Still playing a little bit of a risky game. All right, what a magical journey here through the forest as Phoenix1 are kind of able to escape. Anyways, let's take the beginning here is pretty interesting because remember this is a heal support, so Matt is going to be able to come over and save Mickey after they go all in on him. Piglet does a tremendous amount of damage and zones Ryu out, getting his flash as well, fishing him out of the fight. So Phoenix1 are very deep here. They split as well. Maokai goes up to the top side. They lose a member in Xpecial. Zig then turns back around as everybody else has to get back out. And Dardoch does his best to continue this chase here. He's staying out of damage range, then trying to get the knockups here and continue slows so that Piglet can catch up. And I thought, Piglet opting here for the Rek'Sai chase was going to be, let the others ones get away. But apparently Ryu tried to make his escape back through the towers.
Yeah, he had gone back in for trading, and yeah, it just didn't go quite the way he wanted. Game only 900 gold apart now.
And we have to caution against this LeBlanc that we're like, oh yeah, she can snowball so heavily. When you start giving kills like that on a snowball champion, you really have to worry because Syndra is building up to, Banshee's Veil is completed. The team fighting is so much better. This goes very nice in the late game. As you said, he didn't beat him in CS a lot. You didn't deny CS from the Syndra, so the LeBlanc is going to fall off a bit. As far as the 5-on-5 tank fightings, it's really hard to get around Gragas, Nautilus, and there is a Lulu protecting, so it's going to get easier for Mickey, and I feel like he's going to be taking over a bit in combination with Piglet. Phoenix1 do have to worry a little bit about giving those kills over.
We'll see that comes in next. Mickey now only 500 gold behind for you in the one-on-one, so not too far apart. We'll see if this gets any closer here. 1,400 apart right now in gold overall for the teams. 1/3 of that is the mid lane matchup. Let's see what comes in next. Of course, major MR itemization done for a lot of these players. Abyssal Mask done. You mentioned the Banshee's Veil also.
Classic Ryu.
Yeah, he's looking for the play. And again, he's looking for the one-on-ones. He's looking to not fight the MR stack.
There is no one-on-one, though. With Matt next to Piglet, I don't see him killing. Maybe he could kill Matt.
Now, Whimsy can silence it. We'll see if he gets the damage up. Ultis for the knock-up, and then, well, he goes, but at least, hey, he forces an ult, and he's got his team around him.
Does get the ult. He even pre-popped his potion. Expecting some damage there from the Gragas. Does get out.
Refillable. Generally a smart choice, especially when they are free, so. You're going to run down the bot lane ever so slightly faster. Saves a half second. He's going to clear out the minion wave, and P1 are still the team with the lead.
Yeah.
Team fighting may be difficult, but they can do it.
Exactly. They technically have a small gold lead, but if we take into account the way that the game is going and transitioning into 5-on-5 fights, the gold lead is not going to make up for the champions on Team Liquid, right? LeBlanc does have a more difficult time of team fighting, as we kind of went over, finding her way into the backline targets. And then even when she does, there is a Lulu there who's got shields, so makes assassinating those priority targets very difficult. And Ryu wants to stay split up. Phoenix1 want to keep this map apart so that Team Liquid can't get that group up synergy and to start benefiting themselves.
And the key itemization is getting done pretty soon. Piglet just finished Infinity Edge, and Matt only about 300 gold away from Ardent Sensor. Knight's Vow just completed for Dardoch here as well, so these are very important power spikes coming through right now for Liquid. The gold deficit not meaning quite as much.
Yeah, the items you're talking about make it even more difficult to kind of succeed as LeBlanc and find those assassinations. Meanwhile, Team Liquid staying calm, kind of farming up here.
Yeah. We'll see if P1 can find their opening, though. You're looking at their itemization. Zig getting himself Righteous Glory, you assume, pretty quickly here. That or Frozen Heart, but you assume Righteous Glory. Stone Plate done for MikeYeung, and maybe the next power spikes will mean something. Haven't seen this much, but a Sunfire Cape actually coming through for Lourlo. Haven't seen that top lane in quite a while.
Needs some help with his pushing there for Maokai. It definitely does a tremendous amount of damage to minions. Was nerfed a bit as far as team fighting, damage to champions, but they've got plenty of damage coming out of Mickey and Piglet, so that's all he has to worry about is dealing with minions, getting the side lanes in place for them to get their 5-on-5s.
Yep.
Because that's the one thing, right? When you're facing a team that has LeBlanc that wants to split with the extra teleport, the minions are what's going to be the issue.
Yeah.
Braum and Syndra are going to go a long way in helping them deal with that issue so they can get to their game plan.
Definitely agree. Minion's going to be important to make sure you can play the game you want. And they're going to find the way in. Ooh, explosive cast went the wrong way. Actually, no, it was blocked by Xpecial. He barely got that side of the shield in. Making explosive cast pop early. So perhaps to Xpecial getting the shield up just in time, seeing Dardoch fly in. That saved Arrow's life almost definitely.
Yep, nice use of the Unbreakable there for Xpecial. Pops barrels. Arrow still has most of Summoner because of it as well, which is going to be important here shortly. Ryu's looking for a flank over the side.
Gonna look at the back line. Can't find much of it. Gonna look for map, and he's other side of the wall. Shoot the ward. That goes down. Now Ryu might have to ult to get over there, and he's, yeah, really injured on this one. Down about half HP with explosive charge, and that was his ulti down, so Ryu missing a cooldown for this fight.
Yeah, that's going to be annoying until he gets his honey fruit. Drake is up. It's just a Cloud Drake, so they haven't really focused on it. They've been focusing on the positioning here for the team fight.
Oh, it's going to come in. They want this one onto Dardoch. Flashes away, stays alive, and the front line goes Zig. Wild Growth to keep the front line even more healthy. And Ryu can't find that battle. Mickey's going to get rooted up, but look how much damage goes onto the tanks. And here, Lourlo forces a flash. One more hit, misses the anchor. He's going to go down for that one. Ulti's not going to land either. Didn't complete the cast animation. Xpecial low trying to run, but no damage yet for Piglet. He can't get the killing blows across. Just 1-for-0 as Lourlo falls, and sadly again, unable to ult.
Anchor goes right down the middle of the lane, and he can't latch on to anything.
Rough stuff.
No escape for him. And it is going to be one kill over to Phoenix1, but we did still, even with him dying in that, and the good initiation by Phoenix1 to get a lot of DPS into Dardoch early and kind of weaken the front line. Oh, Piglet actually takes fire under his turret.
Only had the rocket jump away, but that is another turret falling, so Phoenix1 now 3-1 in turrets. They have now gotten 2 separate unanswered turrets. They still have those 2 kills and that Drake as well, so P1 making the most out of this mid-game. 2.7k up, breaks the Banshee's Veil, lands the chain. Mickey has flash, that's not going to get him quite away. Finally gets out with that one. Arrow actually flashed to chase as well and didn't get the damage.
Yeah, not sure if he thought his ultimate was going to come back up.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
Be able to get into range for that, yeah. Definitely does to me. I don't know about the pro players, but it was not up. Still on cooldown from that last fight, so there's no follow-up CC.
Anyway, Mickey getting away with that one. Now a nice stun. Not going for the ulti, but now he's got to be afraid, but walks away pretty cleanly. Blue buff steal in next. Look at this damage out of Piglet. Almost gets it across. The Locket actually going to time down before explosive charge really hits. Ryu, though, will still stay alive. He's got a recall, though. Hits the ward, jumps the wall, back to Fountain.
Piglet continually getting these really high-value trades onto the LeBlanc, who normally you're like, oh yeah, it's always great to go for the mage. They can't sustain. This is a Hextech Gunblade LeBlanc. Theoretically should be able to sustain, but he just keeps blasting Ryu out of these fights and making it very difficult for him to get back in.
Definitely props to Piglet for doing the best in the situation. Got a little bit camped, still made it work pretty well. Second Cloud Trick going to Phoenix1, no problem. Spread their wings and fly a bit faster into this. See what comes next in for the teams. Piglet very obviously is the recipient of Knight's Vow. Shoots at a LeBlanc clone. There's the real one though.
Yeah. By the way, with the extra 2 kills that Mickey's got, and again, props to him for not dying early on to the kind of fed lane. With that, plus his extra 48 CS lead over LeBlanc, he's passed Ryu in gold on the Syndra. Plus, he's more comfortable in team fighting. He has his defense of the Banshee's Veil and a strong front line. So definitely doing his part for the carry as well. Him and Piglet, again, have been doing wonders for Team Liquid in this tournament. That's where they are going to rely on To further this game, they are still down about 3,000 gold, but they are not really too scared of the initiation of Phoenix1. It's more so Ryu continually looking for these pockets of fog of war, and he keeps looking for these assassinations that they have to worry about, so they're putting more money into these wards.
If we have time, I want to point something out real quick. Xpecial's actually earned more gold from his Relic Shield line than Matt has from his coin. A lot of this feels like some of the lane domination out of P1. It's about 1,100 versus 1,300. It's actually substantially more. So a lot of the gold lead for P1 is on MikeYeung, Arrow, and actually Xpecial, who is very tanky, right? Ice Stone is done, Merc Thread's done, Lock It in there as well.
I like it.
And hey, that's really good. And one thing I've noticed actually is the team is more willing to let Xpecial get the last hits and make sure he is farming the gold. It's like, it's a metagame thing because like, everyone saw how good Koima was like, oh, we should let our tanks get gold and use their GP10. Weird how much tankier they are now.
Well, maybe possibly one of the most frustrating things about tank supports.
Yeah.
Your teammates not letting you get your Targons off later into the game and those executions. But I like it, especially getting gold the old-fashioned way, punching it out of minions. Not this new fad of just picking up gold coins on the ground.
Which do come out of minions. It's almost the same.
Okay.
In a different way.
Just seems...
I mean, Xpecial is like organic and, you know, TL's more...
organic.
Yeah, you know, it's farm-fed in this case. I don't know, man. I got nothing for you.
Honestly, Team Liquid trying to group up. You know, they've had enough of this split shenanigans because they keep losing turrets. Phoenix1, a lot of their gold, you know, is from their 3-turret advantage. And yes, they do have 2 Cloud Drakes to try and get around the map faster. So if they can continually use that speed to deny this vision, they have a decent chance of continuing this snowball. Team Liquid, though, still banking on that 5-on-5. Ardent Sensor is complete.
All right, yeah, he had that one a little while ago, and we're going to see if that's going to be enough to keep Piglet bumped up. Piglet also stepping by for the Executioner's Calling to deal with Zig's Maokai. And we'll see if that is enough. He keeps going for more and more of this crit itemization to knock through the 3 frontline comp of P1. It really puts a lot of the damage onus onto Arrow and Ryu. Been a bit slow going this one. Already, even if TL win, it's their slowest win of the promotion tournament. United had died by this point in all 3 of the games in that series. Phoenix1 again hoping they can hold on to this lead. Lead almost 4,000 actually. They've still, even though we keep talking about composition issues, and again I still think they are there in terms of team fight power, P1 are still navigating the map better. They're now up 3 unanswered turrets. It's really going well for them.
Yeah.
Oh, and Piglet not going well for you. Down he goes. He had no way out and reacted too late to the play. Never even Buster shot a Ryu out.
Shoots him out of the air with his gunblade, and Piglet goes down mid-rocket jump with the chain proccing as well. Ryu is rewarded. We keep talking about him looking for those pockets of fog of war, hiding in the brush, through the true side. This is what he's looking for. Now it's going to be a Baron.
And at this point, can you even win the team fight when with a Syndra Lulu as your backline? Dardoch not able to get into the fight yet either. Oath coming across from the Maokai, just throwing him out. Yep, meow, 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 get away from my Baron. And the Land Shark takes it out. MikeYeung with the Baron secure. And a 5,000 gold lead to Phoenix1.
Oh man, all right, so one big pick there from Ryu. Taking down Piglet, the crux of the Team Liquid composition, allows them to get the Baron, and now it is very interesting because usually the outer turret lead is where a lot of teams stall out if they're a little bit more early game oriented. But Baron buff is going to go a long way to that playstyle we keep talking about where they want to split up, have Ryu on the side lane, level 16 LeBlanc with teleport. Now with Baron buff, he's looking to create that side pressure, see if Phoenix1 can actually further this and get these towers down.
Yep, there's the rocket jump. Out he goes.
He's felt the burn already. Doesn't want to go round 2.
We'll see. Well, he's been feeling the burn, but Ryu might just trump him in this fight. Looking to knock down top lane tier 2. Piglet's got to be a bit careful. Nope, he's got Matt. It's actually Ryu forced to back up. Turret's going to stay alive, and he's hoping to just withstand this Baron buff as long as they can. The siege is going to be slow going right now for P1. We'll see if they do stall out at tier 2 or not.
Yeah, it's difficult for them to get the straight up siege because Arrow doesn't want to have to use his summoners anytime early. You know, Gragas and Nautilus will get their lockdown eventually. If your summoners are blown, then Varus is a very easy target. It's all up to Xpecial. You know, keep track of Xpecial's positioning, by the way. I like when you keep pointing out the use of his Unbreakable.
Knock that turret down, though. Maybe the attack goes into Dardoch as well, using a couple of spells, even the ulti out of Arrow. Chains of Corruption not going to do much, though, as they're going to back off and let Dardoch walk away. But top lane tier 2 falls, 6,500 the lead.
Yeah, they get one turret. You can see how much they have to work for it, but they're very happy to continue this lead. 7,000 gold here is definitely substantial for Phoenix1.
And the ultimate reward, triple Cloud Drake, to be picked up on the backside of this as well. Another chain and a Dardoch. He has flash, though, and gets away cleanly. And here we go, time for the Zoom composition. P1 gonna have the wings, and it will be the only elemental Drakes to spawn this game, as Elder will be next up. Rapid fire cannon now done for Piglet means he can get that 80% crit Infinity Edge static shift trigger from 800 range or so. He can knock someone down with that one. A quick stun to Xpecial. That's the siege in mid lane tier 2. Is Piglet going to look for a bit of action towards the bot side? He's going to finish towards Mortal Reminder soon enough. Ryu takes about 600 damage, and then Polymorph almost means the kill. Does he have a shield? And Xpecial actually saves the lock, but they actually get on the Arrow. And again, a nice little shield up for Xpecial, keeps him alive. Dardoch still holding the ultimate.
Nice little disengage there with the Maokai ultimate. Zones off a lot of the Team Liquid damage, but Phoenix1's carries were incredibly chunked out. Teleport back here.
I think he thought they're going to get chased, and he canceled.
Ryu cancels the teleport. That is a very decent cooldown.
Yeah.
And one of the big parts that we talked about for their splitting, this is also going to mean the Baron is going to time out. They had one more minion wave to work with if they weren't caught right there, but a little bit of aggressiveness from Team Liquid is going to cause Baron buff to expire as well. Now it's back to basics for Team Liquid. Set up your defensive vision, get your control wards in your own jungle, and then try and get your 5-on-5 fight. Wait for Phoenix1 to come to you.
They did it then. 6,000 on the nose, the gold lead here, plus Cloud Drake. TL again, just hoping they can get that 5-on-5 team fight, and they can buff up Piglet. That's what the comp was built around. The first pick Tristana, the Lulu for the support role, with 2 other support fans brought in by TL. Locket now done as well for Dardoch. More shielding coming in. Frozen Heart for Lourlo to knock down some of the damage output.
Yep, the Righteous Glory for Zig definitely has a possibility for that hard engage. If they catch anyone out of position, or if they see movement spells used by carries like that.
Yep, that was maybe a bit of a risk, but they're safe. Ryu spotted enough on the top side of the map. He's now killing a control ward. Level 17 on this LeBlanc. Matt has spent a lot of time this game away from the lanes. He's very under-leveled, mostly to give that to Piglet, to give him those stats, but now he's kind of rejoining the fray. And we'll see what's next up for this one, going for his next shielding support item. Whether it's MikeYeung's or a Redemption, not sure yet, but Matt on his next item. Bertred's picked up as well. Piglet pretty close to having Lapis for gold.
Team Liquid need to be careful about venturing out into here because there's a lot of lockdown.
Pain is there. Knock up on a Lourlo. Do they have the attacks coming through? Arrow looking to keep chasing in. He's already burned the ultimate. The knock up to buy some more time for Lourlo, but he's going to be hit up with the shield, and it's still going to go down. Zig into the kill credit, and MikeYeung kites away with the stone plate, surviving all the ultimate damage. Now a flash on a Mickey. Another knock up. They picked off Piglet. That's important to cleanse. And Flasher's still up. A nice stun coming back from Mickey, but no kills to be had just yet. More roots for Zig. The chase in. They're going to knock down the carry, and P1 have picked off 3 already, with only 2 left alive for Liquid. The rest alive for P1, and now Dardoch next up. He's going to fall. You have to assume the attacks come through for Arrow.
That's why the defensive vision in your own jungle and your control wards to clear it out are so imperative. Phoenix1 able to get a huge pick. That is going to blow the base wide open. I think that might even be the final tipping point here as they march onto the inhibitor turret.
It might be enough for the game. 30 seconds on Mickey and Piglet. No one else has good wave clear. Inhibitor turret going to fall already. Matt definitely going to die. Tries to defend an inhibitor turret and just loses his life for it thanks to a gunblade. And how much more can P1 really pick up? 15 seconds on Mickey, but only 3 on Piglet. Means inhibitor then back off.
What a huge opening here through the middle of the base for Phoenix1. And Lourlo walking through what is considered now enemy territory. Your own jungle, you have no vision. You're 6,000 gold down of the enemy team with tremendous amounts of crowd control. Can't be so far away. If you do want to go do that, you're gonna have to go with multiple people. And then the continuation here from Phoenix1. Look at this determination in the dive.
Yeah.
Past like 2 turrets here, able to continue. MikeYeung knows he doesn't have tower aggro. He's gonna lend a hand as well as Rek'Sai.
And frustration on Dardoch's face, absolutely. Certainly A fight that could have gone better, as you mentioned, enemy territory, Taints getting caught out, and I think several mechanical misplays out of Liquid also hurting them. But still, great gumption by P1. 8-kill lead and the 10,000 gold in their pockets. More than their opponents have. Now, PL gonna look for a play on the mid lane off the reset. And then down to half HP. Piglet still looking for more. LeBlanc used by Ryu.
Ryu's coming down here to flank. There's no vision on him yet.
They gotta respect this now. Quick slow out of Dardoch. Now Zig wants him with Righteous Glory. Finds the opening. Cats come out as well. The turret's gonna fall to minions, but the re-engage is gonna come across. Nautilus will be used on the arrow, staying alive though. And their body's down to the front line, and Piglet's still safe. He's got the buffs on him. Locket popped by Zig to stay alive. Now here comes the fissure. Lands on only the front line. Now Piglet's gotta be careful. He's been tagged by Braum, but still safe to attack in the front. Now Dardoch and Lourlo very, very low. The tanks. There's more injured on TL and knocked back on a MikeYeung. Now force of flash. Stays alive, but he's 2 attacks away from dead. Another slow's gonna land, and the snipe comes in for Arrow. 2 kills for Phoenix1, and Ryu gonna take the chain in the front. Not quite pick off Mickey. Almost knocked down by the unleashed power, but 2 for 0 P1. TP up for Ryu means he can TP back to his mid lane. This could be the game right now.
Yeah, this is gonna be Ryu coming back with full health, as you said, using his teleport. It could put it on a minion to further the siege.
Here comes the play for top lane. 3 versus 5 in the fight, but P1's health bars are low. First turret falls. Ryu looking on the side with the blue elixir on. Small engage for Lourlo. Damage on Xpecial. Can they get him? 2 more turret shots would do him in. Another knock up on an arrow, and they look at the healing out of Zig. He is too tanky on the Maokai. They can't get rid of him. Xpecial staying alive on this. Oh my god. Dardoch back up in 4 seconds. Piglet in 10. He should get back before the Nexus falls. A polymorph. Nice shot by Matt. Goes into Ryu, but nothing really picked up. The turret's gonna fall, and now P1 with the triple cloud gonna run out of the base and stay alive.
Yeah, Dardoch trying to chase him down, but they are gaining territory. Lourlo teleports for the flank.
They need this play. They're gonna look for Arrow once again. The target lands the root, lands some bit of damage, but the stun coming out, and actually the anchor blocked out by Xpecial. He saves Arrow's life. He's sure to fall. Braum will die, but Arrow staying alive means there's some wave clear left for P1.
Yeah, big sacrifice there by
Baron's
Xpecial.
up.
Baron on the table right now. Pings are coming out. There are vision wards around for Phoenix1, so they're going to see this initiation. This is going to be very risky for Team Liquid.
10.5 thousand, but they're missing Xpecial. A nice chunk of Matt. He's injured. No ulti up as well for the Lulu. And here comes the play for Baron. 5v4. TL need this desperately. If they die, the game is going to end immediately. Looking for the engage. Back and forth. It's going to be the Cats coming across. Zig holding the front line nicely. And TL lines up, and yet still Piglet walks into one, or no, Matt walks into one of them. Hook onto this one. They're gonna hook the knockdown Zig, but how tanky is that Maokai? The answer is way too much. Ryu on the backside, they'll get some damage across. Watch out, Piglet's gonna shoot at him. No crit to be had just out of that one. And Ryu gonna walk away, but it's bought enough time for Xpecial to respawn in 5 seconds. The flash anchor not gonna land for Lourlo, means no pulling onto Zig. And the Baron disengaged successfully. P1 got their respawn back.
Oh, the minions are on the inhibitor turret, so Phoenix1 trying to stop, but it might cost them.
Explosive cast nearly pulls him in, but Zig was able to flash to the other side of it. Once again, no kill picked up, but Piglet almost made that kill come through.
Now it's difficult because Team Liquid have to deal with their base, but there are 2 neutral objectives for Phoenix1 to take. They can go to Baron, they can go to Elder Dragon. Team Liquid forced to deal with the minions.
Will get a lot of gold for themselves. Please bring this score lineup back closer, but it's still going to only dip to about 10k, and this turret still taking damage. Like Super Minion is on it. Only a few more attacks required for that to fall. They need someone there quickly. There we go. And look at that one. While they're dealing with all the minions, the Baron is going to be completely free, and Phoenix1 take their second uncontested Baron, and this one is likely to be the one that ends the game.
Yep, not only the Baron, but also the Elder Dragon with 3 elemental drakes boosting up that true damage. Team Liquid are coming out to fight their last 5-on-5 here, it looks like. Maybe they're going to go for some random steal and not try and commit to the fight here. They can try and commit inside their base.
No flash means the 1-win trip for Dardoch.
Oh, they're just going to go for it.
On the front line, it's a pretty tanky Nautilus with Lourlo. The shield gets him back to full HP and away. Shield's going back across, and the Elder Dragon still hitting P1. That's actually fairly decent for him. He's looking for maybe the play. P1 cutting back and forth. Middle inhibitor has respawned, so Liquid have almost acceptable minion waves now.
That Scuttle Crab is very valuable for Team Liquid. Ryu making his way around a split push with the Baron, though.
Pushes off the minions, means he can get some pressure onto this turret. As long as he's not cut off, he's got to play this one smartly. Again, how can they split up Liquid's attention? Who's going to look for Ryu? Who's going to look for the Elder Dragon? TL staying for the team fight, but that means Ryu is safe.
Ryu's going back in for the inhibitor turret here. They're pulling off of the Elder Dragon. Now Team Liquid starting it up. It's going to be a smite bite. This is not much reward. Here they go, Team Liquid.
Pull one on to Zig. Again, he's very tanky, though damage not going to come by quickly, and Ryu is coming back across to start this fight out. 7,000 on the Elder Dragon. Ryu is ready for the flank, but he's spotted by a ward, sweeps it out. Still has to be cautious of this one. Dragon's gonna reset one more time, back to 7K. Hook again on a Zig, pops the ulti across. Piglet got a kite to the top, set to get away from the cats, from the root. He's got some free time. Again, Ryu not part of this fight yet. Tia once again going back for this one. The bot lane wave not gonna get that much damage across, but the turret is losing health bars right now. 4,000 health on the Drake, kite back for Piglet, a chain out of the Dragon as well, but the tanks are getting low. Dardoch and Lourlo's gonna fall for the first one. Now the engage, the flash is in, but it's gonna be one kill picked up, 4v4. They knock back Ryu. Do not quite kill him, though he stays alive with a sliver. An absolute sliver of health, 5 HP. He's gonna recall back safely. Now the re-engage for the Elder Dragon. TL want this, they're gonna get the smite, and a 1v1 blocks an Elder steal. TL holds on.
Just barely. Team Liquid are able to get the force there. Lourlo goes in, and it looks like he dies all alone, but they're able to get the counter kill. Piglet getting out of danger there with his cleanse is able to return, and Team Liquid buy themselves some more time. They hold on here and allow Piglet to continue to level. He's almost level 18 here, almost max build as well on the Tristana. Just look at this fight. They've been on the Drake for a good 2 minutes straight. Phoenix1 are just trying to buy time for their minions, by the way. So Team Liquid know they have to force it. Lourlo goes in, the counter initiation comes out. He does get the ultimate down onto Arrow, and then they're trying to force it here by starting up the Elder Dragon again. They want Phoenix1 to come to them. It's too risky to go for a smite fight, so they try and 5-on-5. Lourlo then goes in 1v4, but Piglet takes up his 1v1 with Ryu, and he's able to get the kill. Just such aggressive and ballsy play there from Liquid, or from Piglet specifically, in the team fight is what kind of saves that. You know, once your tank goes in, you got to make use of that time he's buying. Lourlo went in, so he's buying you a couple of seconds of uptime on your AD carry. Piglet goes in, he gets a huge amount of damage off, and Team Liquid barely able to hold on. Now they've got the Elder Dragon buff, though. Let's see what they can do with it.
They can deal with this one's gonna time out pretty quickly, but Piglet can go right back out, stay alive, wave through the mid lane as they keep going. Of course, mid inhib has respawned, so minion wave should be reasonable now. Bot lane turret super low, but isn't down.
Yeah, Ryu has his teleport, so he could come up big. He could go split down bottom, use his teleport to get up to the top side. The engage is already upon us.
Nice double stun, body slam there as well. Needs a bit of damage on the Zig, kills the 400 and gets it right back chunked down. A couple crits for Piglet. And again, as you mentioned, he is now full build. Mortius in there.
Phoenix1 trying to stall it out here. Very small Baron power play because of that team fight Team Liquid were able to get. But Phoenix1, they still have the side lane pressure. They're not making a huge use of it, though. Now, finally, they're sending Ryu down.
Yep.
What can he do? He was the one to end the game on Corki in their series yesterday, running through the jungle to go back door. Now he's trying to split push with the minions. The rest of Phoenix1 have to buy time.
Bottom inhib should fall in 2 seconds from the Ryu split push, but mid lane inhibitor turret gonna fall as well. Dragon buff is timed out. Ulti popped by Zig, gonna be tanked up by the front line. They're safe in the back. TL gonna keep the push going. Turret's gonna fall, and the inhibitors will be traded. It looks like TL actually facing him off. They know they will lose their base to just Ryu. They've got to kite away, and notice that Verandai right now for P1 has stopped the recalls. Ryu gonna switch to the mid lane as well. Double inhib death. Maybe they've bought themselves the fight though. No, the ulti from Arrow gonna buy some time. Looking for the front. Not gonna get Zig. He's gonna flash away. The ulti on the Arrow. They're looking for Piglet. Explosive cast. Not gonna find the targets though. They have the free time on Zig, but can they knock down Tristana as double inhibs are down? And
Ryu ended the game!
is trying to end the game. So what can TL do about this? Because the base is falling. The base is falling, and Ryu, just the way it started, gonna be doing everything by himself as the team fight continues on.
Lourlo
getting
teleported.
kills. Can Lourlo get back though? Can he do the damage? I don't think he can. Ryu just gonna get the damage. Hoping to do what Peke did, the list of great mids, the great ex-EU mid laners as Ryu closed the game out despite a quadra kill from Mickey. Game 1 goes to Phoenix1.
Ryu once again, the lone man in the base, just like yesterday. He gets the Nexus kill himself. Oh, Phoenix1 playing that one close.
Yes, they were, and what an interesting way to end it. The fact that they even lost, or at least went equal, but lost the Drake in that Dragon fight. And then the call again was just, look, I don't care if you die, stop the recalls. Just, he's got TP, it's okay, no one's reacting to me, I'm Ryu, let's go. And that ended up being the absolutely right call. So the 4 deaths, like, they're almost misleading. Because you're like, oh my God, if he wasn't there, they would have lost the game. But that was the point of what they did, so it was very well played.
Yeah, it's always fun to have that, game of chase on one side while you're just trying to race the clock right there for Ryu. And he is able to get it done on the LeBlanc. Really fed. It goes pretty much without saying that he's going to be player of the game after this one, snowballing early, getting those big picks to get them the Baron in the first place, and then ending it. Great job by Ryu.
Well, good job by P1. So for more on yet another Ryu 1v0 base race, let's send it down to Digon and Azael.
Thank you very much, Freak. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on Team Liquid. And unfortunately, they weren't able to find what they needed. But let's go ahead and start at the team compositions here, because we thought that the key to Ryu not popping off was taking away the Corki, so that was definitely banned away. But he found some early kills here, and you can see in these two team compositions what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is LeBlanc can be very strong, and Ryu is obviously very good at it. But as far as straight up 5v5, Team Liquid had a far superior composition, in my opinion. So it's something where Ryu had to actually make sneaky plays, had to get picks, had to split up the game if he was going to be able to be successful, and obviously he was.
Yeah, he was, and a good way to start that here is the replays that we have of just Ryu just getting big early on. The weird invade that happened here, and then was able to roam around the map.
I respect that from Piglet, though. Flashing in the one-way trip for the first blood does get it, but Ryu was the beneficiary of that traded back kill. Then he's able to get very active out on the map, roams the top lane, gets a kill there, TPs the bot lane, gets another kill there. He was very, very effective, not only on the roams, but also in the 2v2 fights, in getting key picks that actually extended their lead. I mean, the pick that he had on Piglet before they actually secured their first Baron, I think was really, really important and really what ended up securing them the game.
And coming into today, we thought that Team Liquid was going to be the team that was going to jump out to the lead. They went ahead and put a spanking on to E United, and we saw Phoenix1 go ahead and struggle with Goldcoin United, but it was actually the opposite early on. And when we were talking about team compositions, I had asked you, all right, what's the only way Phoenix1 can go ahead and break into the base? And the best way to do that is get a pick and get Baron. And here we go. We have that pick here at 35 minutes. For some reason, Lourlo seemed to get lost in his own jungle where he clearly saw Phoenix1 was.
You saw the whole team there. And then he, instead of just walking back to where Dardoch is and walking the safe way around, he just wanders through his own jungle. They try to save him. I mean, at this point, it's really just abandoned ship. You should just let Nautilus die and back off. But definitely a very questionable play from Lourlo. And then if you track Piglet, Piglet rocket jumps in and just kills himself as well. So solidarity, at least Team Liquid has that going for them. But either way, I mean, that pick is such a big deal, and that fight is such a big deal that it did allow them to actually take the inhibitor pretty shortly after. So you've got to give credit for P1 for making the play and for being in the position to make the play happen, but you also do have to be somewhat critical of TL for not necessarily playing around their ring conditions, not really playing as carefully as they could have, because even though they were down over 10,000 gold at points, they were still actually fighting well in 5v5s.
Right, and all they had to do was stick together. As long as you stick together, LeBlanc can't kill anybody, can't go in first, especially with the hard engage of Nautilus. But however, it ended up that once P1 were able to take the Baron and were to push in, Team Liquid was like, okay, maybe we should just go ahead and stick together a little bit and let's push down this mid lane. And for a while there, it looked, wow, P1 doesn't have a way back in it. There's only one way to go back in it by having Ryu split push, but it was going to be okay. But instead, we had what transpired into yet another base race.
Yeah, I mean, it turns into a base race. So the inhibitor had already been knocked down once. It was respawning. TL grouped up. They got the Elder. They want to push and actually get something done here. And they were going to be able to win 5v5s from this position. Unfortunately for them, Ryu goes to the split push. They really kind of hesitate on what to do. At first, they're going for the inhibitor, then they knock down the inhibitor turret, then they say, oh, actually, let's base. And then they try to run back, their bases are getting stopped, then they turn for the fight again, and I mean, only Lourlo is able to actually get back to base, but he's not going to be able to stop Ryu, so Ryu had time not only to knock down both inhibitors, but then also kill the Nexus turret and the Nexus, so TL had quite a long time, I think, to make the correct decisions here, but they weren't really able to do it. I think that either you have to instantly hard engage and try to end the game faster than Ryu can, or you have to immediately be backing off and basing, and TL kind of just, I think, failed to recognize what they had to do in the moment.
And I like Freak's line there. Former great EU mid laners doing backdoors, and, you know, Ryu played over with H2K for a little bit. So I know P1 won, but you feel like, again, they escape with another win. What do they need to do to find dominant form and get a dominant win here?
I mean, a lot of it comes down to the draft and the way that they had to play very scrappy, right? Despite the fact that they had a very big gold lead, there was incredible scaling with the Tristana and the Lulu for the Team Liquid. So I think that oftentimes in comps like this, it's going to look a little bit more scrappy. It's going to look a little bit more crazy, as this one did, because LeBlanc can't straight up 5v5 the same way that a Syndra can, the same way that a Tristana backed up by a Lulu can. So, you know, Ryu, you want to have success from him, but if you want to see dominance in an actual like 5v5, that sort of composition, I think they have to draft for it.
And if you're Coach Kane on Team Liquid, how do you control the tilt? Because this team hasn't had trouble most of the time when they get that first win, but it's usually when things are going wrong, it snowballs completely the opposite way. What do you say?
I mean, you gotta give them a little bit of time, take a breather, relax. It's just one game. We know how good they looked yesterday, and the fact is, it's also the upper bracket. So if they do lose, they still do have another series to go. So not time to worry yet for Team Liquid.
Well, they'll take a break, and we're headed for a break as well. There's more league action coming right up. When we return, we'll have Game 2 between Phoenix1 and Team Liquid.